Hello, everyone. I didn't realize I wasn't on. Uh, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm going to try this again. In the chat, I just put a link to the Excel sheet. And I don't get to it, get stressed, or if it doesn't work out how it. So I'm not going to have my intention, but I'm not going to advertisement is to do an Excel lesson, which I am then later going to edit. And I want my picture to be very small because I'm wearing no makeup. When I started these classes 2 years ago, and I would get all correct with my glasses, and I was sitting at a desk. I was so serious about them at the time, and one girl, I don't know if some of my followers, I haven't seen them in a while. I wonder if they got mad at me since I started getting very political on the internet. Seen a few people that used to follow me for years, and they would always be in the chat, and I haven't seen them in the last few lives. So maybe I made some, maybe I alienated some people, unfortunately, but I what can I do? Anyway, so I'm not going to set expectations for myself. I'm just going to do the class, and if it comes out okay, great. If it doesn't, nobody was expecting anything. All right. Should I put you up here in the meantime? Oh, let me share my screen. Share, present, share screen. I'm not wearing my contact lenses. I'm going to share that one. Yes, Daddy, wait. I am
blocking.
All right. Guys, I'm sorry. I have to go. I'm on the. Am I presenting the screen? My father said my car's blocking him, so let me go move it. That's the screen. Okay, here's the sheet. If you guys want to fiddle with the sheet in the meantime, there's the link. That's the sheet we use for my classes. If you're interested in the classes, you can go to Ashy Felicia on YouTube, or difficult_unit on Twitch. And I have free videos there, beginner lessons in Excel, Google Sheets, which is basically the same as Excel. And let me move my car in the meantime. So difficult_unit on Twitch, or Ashy Felicia on YouTube. Ashley Felicia is a channel where I was one of my viewers that used to follow me that I haven't seen in a long time, had suggested I do that channel. And I actually, that's of all the channels, I think that's my favorite one, but I haven't done much on it lately. Let me find my sandal. Oh, I can't even find my shoes over there. All right, I got to put her on the floor, because what happens with my baby girl, if I leave her on the couch and then jump off the couch, she hurts herself. She doesn't hurt herself, but she yelps because she lands on the floor and she can't really land. Oh, she's a stinky girl. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry about the delay. I'm gonna just lower this in case I should mute the mic. I'm gonna mute the mic. Mute mic. I think the time to be doing these, hello everyone who just came in, if anyone's new. The time to be doing these is not now. It's at night when everybody's in bed, but then at night I don't have any lighting. Of course, you don't need to see me, you just need to see the screen, the sheet that I'm working on. So anyway, that's the sheet we're working on. And tell me if the sound is okay, you can't hear me, you know. All right. Oh, so what I been doing at work, it's amazing. Oh my gosh. We have to send letters out to different customers that they owe us some money. But each customer owes different money. So, you know, the Excel sheet calculates what each customer, that's the customer's name, their business, their address, this, and the money they owe. So it's all in an Excel sheet. And then I have a letter on a separate Excel sheet. And what happens is the letter, it's like we're doing a form letter, which is why I'm telling you, okay, let me not go off on a tangent. Because letters, you can also use Word for letters, Word Perfect or the word processor. It's pretty efficient as well, but Excel is better. Excel is always better. No matter what you can do in a word processor, you can do it in Excel and you can do it better. So we have an Excel sheet separate from the first Excel sheet. The first Excel sheet is the names of all the customers and what they owe and their addresses. Then the second Excel sheet, we just have formulas. So that then we basically tell the Excel sheet to pull the information and then create the letters. And then they're created, pretty quickly. I don't want to say immediately because there's so far it's not foolproof because I still have to do a little bit of, but that's more our end of how we work with other what do you call them, employees. My idea was to have the original accountant just enter her numbers in a sheet, and that's all she has to do, and boom, the letters get populated automatically. But the problem in my particular case, it's not a problem. It's still very efficient. It was done very quickly. But I guess she wants someone to check her work, which makes sense because she can enter all the numbers. But if she enters and misenters a number, you need to have someone doing the checking of the math. And also, anyway, I'm getting too detailed and you guys don't even know what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to teach today is how you can link Excel sheets to each other, which can then eventually be used for a lot of important things. But and I don't remember if I already showed you how to do that, but I'll show you now again. So we're going to go to our Excel sheet, open a new one. Look at, I got the table of contents. This is Sheets, which I haven't seen something like this in Excel. This is Google Sheets, remember. Google Sheets has this where you click on this and you can see all of your sheets and you can scroll. So, because if you have a lot of sheets, it's okay. So I'm going to go to the last one, Asian utensils. I did that at one time. Just information, random information. All right. So let's add a sheet. How do I add a sheet? Well, usually there's a plus sign. See, I haven't used Google Sheets in a while. I've been using Excel. In Excel, to add a sheet, you just click on a plus sign that you see down here. And I just realized that I'm not. This is a view only. All right, it's a view only for you guys. You can only view this document. Edit access. Wait a minute, but I'm not logged in as I'm supposed to be logged in as that. Okay, now I can edit. See, I was in as another, so now I'm in as the editor. Your access to the sheets will only be viewing only. So what you need to do is download the sheet to your own Gmail account, and then you can do your own thing on that same sheet, on the same, on a copy of the sheet, not on my sheet. You'll be doing it on your own sheet, but you have all right. So anyway, add a sheet. So again, if we were in Excel, you would just see a little plus sign down here on a tab. Oh, here we go. Here's a plus sign on this side. Add sheet. In Excel, it's on this side. So here's the plus sign. Add sheet. So I'm going to add 2 sheets. And now we got to find, okay, sheet 45 and sheet 46. So we're going to call them, and then of course I'll put them where I want to put them. But See, I also did a table of contents here. That was before I realized that Google Sheets has this. I mean, you still may want a table of contents to give it the name you want, but you know, it has this, which I've never seen this in Excel. Well, Excel has it in a different way, which you know, you can go into Excel, see how I right clicked on one of the tabs, and then you can say hide sheet or show sheet. So if you hide all the sheets, then when you unhide, you could see the list, but that's really not, it's not the same thing. I have yet to find in Excel something like this where you just click and you get a list of all the sheets. It must exist. I just don't know how to do it. All right. Anyway, I have 2 sheets here. So here's 1 sheet. Here's 2. These are my new sheets. So, so we're going to call this lesson 10, lesson 10A, and lesson 10B because we need 2 sheets. Lesson, oh, here goes my mother again complaining about the dog and how the dog looks like there's something wrong with it. And we already know the dog has hydrocephaly, mommy. It's not, we need to call the vet. I mean, yes, if your dog were perfectly healthy and then suddenly you look at her and she's acting like my dog, yes, you should be freaking out. But in my case, that is my dog. She was born that way. She's like kind of limp. And let me go get her so my mother doesn't worry. I mean, it's kind of funny, you know, but what's the matter? Is Grandma worried about you? Let's rush you. We have to rush you to the vet. See, this is normal for her. Those of you who don't know my dog, she has hydrocephaly, and being limp and kind of like falling over all the time is normal. That is normal for my baby girl. Oh, I love when she's a sweet girl. Sometimes she's not a sweet girl. Sometimes she's a mean girl. That's right. She looks like she's about to get mean on me. All right, I'm going to put you over here. Be good. Grandma was worried about you. She thought you had to be rushed to the vet. You know how expensive it would be if I had to rush her to the vet and they didn't know what was wrong with her? Okay. Lesson 10B. Okay, so let me check the chat. I haven't been there in a while. Okay, oh, I actually have people watching. Okay, good. Yeah, the Excel is a wonderful thing and it's fun. Okay, so sorry for the delay. So lesson 10A, we're going to call it linking, because we want to know what the lesson is going to be about. Linking Excel sheets to each other. Linking data between, well, it's too long. Linking data. We're going to call, okay, 10, we're going to call this, we're going to go here. 10B, I'm creating the lesson as we go, but then I'm going to edit out the part so it's going to look like I just did the lesson. So you guys are seeing the creative process. So we're going to call this one lesson B. All right, lesson 10B, linking data. So this is the linking data. And then lesson 10, well, I shouldn't call it lesson 10A. It's really lesson 10, sheet A and sheet B. Lesson 10, sheet A, sheet A, sheet A, because it has to make sense. Because sometimes I'll say like lesson 9B because I had to squeeze a lesson in, sort of like the Dewey Decimal System, you know, where you forgot. I'm coming. Yeah, oh,
We call tissue for main logo.
Oh, yeah, we got something in the bag.
Oh, that's.
It's commercial real estate. We have $35 million in left property.
You're voting for it?
No, they're
Oh,
right.
how did you vote for Kim? You did the.
I think more than better.
I don't vote here, but still, I like. Oh, it's about politics. They're starting to go door to door because elections are coming. Here, look at this. Look at this. Be careful when you vote. All right. Oh my God. See, I can't do an Excel lesson. Really, any teacher, if you don't know about teaching, you have to prepare the lesson and then you do the lesson. So what I'm doing is preparing the lesson. I think I'm going to start doing that because I'm not very good at preparing lessons. So, and then, so basically my preparing lessons is just kind of doing something and then going back and editing it out so that it's short and just keep the important parts. So if you want to sit here for the long one, otherwise this will be up, you know, in a day or two with just the important parts. All right, where am I? 3 people. Here we go. Where was I? And see, I got distracted again. So, okay, so I wanted to do lesson 10, sheet A, and lesson 10, sheet. Let's see, it has to be longer. I'm gonna go. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because you know, you only have a certain number of characters for the name of the sheet. That's another thing. And there's a whole other reason for that. But oh God, Excel is so amazing. Just guys, don't wait for me to give you lessons. Whatever you've learned, just get your sheet and start playing with it. I keep calling it Excel. It's Google Sheets, but it's the same as Excel. I got to remind you. If you know Google Sheets, you'll know Excel, and you'll know the other one that they use on Microsoft. I'm going to call this Lesson 10A, Main Document. A, Duke, Main Document. I'm going to do it like that. Document. And then this one I'm going to call Lesson 10B, Linking Data, because you need to use both. Why can't I? You have to double click kind of slowly. 10. And then we're going to call this B, Linking Data. Okay, so we know that they both have to do with, you know what I could do? I could color coordinate the tabs too. So we know what lessons, it just occurred to me now, you know, to make it easier for you guys to, of course, I'll put it in, and I can move this later, but I might color coordinate. See, I did this. Why is that one green? I did this for some reason, like maybe here, that's the thing. This one is the table of contents, but I did my own because then I could make this more personalized. Like maybe I could say all the ones for lesson 10. Let's add it down here. Wait, there is a lesson 10. Oh, that's under construction. Lesson 11, data and percentages. Oh, yeah, I was going to do all these. That's under construction. Did I do that one already? Did I get that far? Oh, look at that. I'm lesson 12. Yeah, these were all my plans that I was planning lessons that I never got to. All right, well, today I'm going to do linking, so I'm going to have to call it, you know what? I could make it 13 or I could make it 10. And what I was going to do for lesson 10, yeah, because decimals, oh, I have a really good one. I think I'm going to combine the one that I had planned for lesson 10. That's what I'll do. All right, so here, decimals under construction. Yeah, to show you guys how to create decimal. You know, it isn't only Excel. I find that a lot of young people don't, you know, they graduate high school school, they don't know basic math. So my idea was to kind of teach Excel and cram in a little bit of GED material, and then maybe try to help people. I mean, it wouldn't be official, but it would be like but I had all these plans and I don't do them. I have to focus. So, because maybe people want to get their GED, which you can do. I don't want to charge. There are plenty of GED classes you can pay for. I'm not going to charge. And first of all, I'm not a teacher. I'm not official or anything. But I could help people study for the GED is what I want. Like people who need a little bit of like oomph to their goal. But you have to have a high school degree. If anybody here is watching, and I even occurred to me, people in other countries who want to learn English could try to get their GED online. I mean, there's all these ideas, but of course, if it's $100 here, $100 maybe isn't that much, but to someone living in other countries, $100 may be too much to pay for. But I wonder if you're allowed to get your GED online living in another country, but get an American GED. It's not going to help you get your, for those of you who may be thinking about it, who live in another country, it's not going to help you get your citizenship or anything, but you'll be learning English. You'll have a high school degree, which definitely helps you get a job in other countries because you have more of an education. College might be better, but or it helps you come up with ideas for your own. I'm going way off on a tangent. So like I want to do all this stuff and I want to do it now, and I have to do it. I have to do it and stick to it and calm down about it. Anyway, so long story short, so I had started some math, just basic math classes too, in Excel. So I'm teaching the math, but we're using Excel to learn it so that they'll be forced to learn Excel. They'll be forced to learn math while they're, you know what I mean? Not forced. You'll find it easier than you thought it was. Even I realized that after after college, like into my late 20s, I started realizing, oh my gosh, it's not as hard. A lot of this stuff is really easy. It's just the way you were taught isn't always the way. But it starts to make logical sense. Oh, of course, the decimal is the same as the fraction, is the same as the percentage. It depends how you were taught. I guess I think the way I was taught math in grammar school was the best, grammar and into early. I think it was the best, but maybe I'm wrong, And then in high school, they taught it fine, but I slipped up in high school and I fell really behind. In hindsight, some tell me, oh, maybe you have OCD or no, the other one, ADHD. Someone had in my chat said, you look like someone they knew someone who has ADHD. They said, I seem to have it, energy problems. So yeah, could be, but at age almost 60, I don't really care what the reason was. It's done. But if I could help someone else, that might be nice. And I ended up learning math a different way than I was taught. And, but I remember my 8th grade, and when you're in school, you don't know this is the way we're teaching it now, or that's the way you just go to school. You don't know about different ways of learning. It's just taught however it's taught. And, but that math teacher in 8th grade, I liked. However they taught us in 8th grade math, I really liked that class. And then the high school was terrible. But basic math, you have to know. You have to graduate knowing some basic math. And I'm even a little behind on the high school math. I'm pretty good as far as when you're getting into trigonometry, all that. Very important as an adult that you know the basics. You don't realize it at the time, but so anyway. Just in daily life, you see it, but you don't realize it until, you start to make connections. Even that basic math that you learn in high school, trigonometry, all that, it has relevance in everyday life. You don't even know it. You don't recognize it. You know it, but you don't recognize it. Blah, blah, blah. Listen to me. How many people watching? 2, because I bored you. Hello, Coaster Corn. Oh no, I keep mixing you up with Toast. Are you Toaster Train by any chance? Because I remember Toaster Train. I'm wondering if you switched up your name a little or if you're just another person. I remember Toaster Train. He was one. I used to watch him on the ASMR a little bit, and then he started. See, a lot of those people that followed me from the ASMR channel, like there's about 4 or 5 of them that used to be on here all the time in the chat, and I haven't seen them in a while. So, you know, and I don't do many chats either, but so some of them maybe just got mad at me, you know. One lady did. I mean, she was very open about it, and she dumped my channel, and she mad me, and she made it very clear in the comments. And I felt bad. You know, I don't want anyone to, but you know, whatever. I guess something I said or something I didn't say, and she got mad. And but she had always been a little bit strange prior to that. Strange in quotes. She seemed a little too much of a follower. You know, you have, and I don't. You know, all of us are whatever. What you want to call it. I mean, we've all watched people for years and years and feel that we're friends with them. I have a few people on YouTube that have no idea that I exist. But this lady, I think, truly took it a little bit too much that we were friends. I mean, granted, yes, I do feel that people have been following me for many years. You know, I feel that we have a friendship because you watch me because you feel I'm your friend. And by just natural, it's like, oh, well, then I'm your friend. You know, I kind of feel that way about it. But until I actually physically meet you, and I'm sure most of you are just nice, regular people, you know, I can't say you're my friend, you know, like, yeah, I'd have to sit down with you and talk to you a few times, actually. But definitely after meeting you once, it makes a difference. Or meeting you even talking on the virtual, like I've spoken with some of you, you know, just met you once, it's already like a different dynamic. It's like, oh yeah, I know her, you know, even if I didn't meet you in person. But that one person that person quit my channel like back in, I mean, it was a long time ago, 2015, let's say, you know, around, you know, so it's nobody probably that's been on here recently. Unless that person comes back. No, the person got very angry with me over, well, just silly things, and told me what the reason was and quit, and, you know, whatever. It wasn't, but I was a little sad because it was someone who'd been following me for years, but I guess you know, anyway. Oh, here we go. Hi. Your tutorials are awesome. Yeah, when I actually do them. All right, here we go. So I'm going to actually do the tutorial because now my father's going to come in a minute and tell me it's lunchtime. Oh, I just hit the dog by accident. All right, here we go. How many people? 2 people. Let's go. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to focus on the tutorial. Focus on the tutorial. Oh, right, because I was going to move the decimals. I'm going to move the decimal class. I have to figure out how to number that. Okay, I'm going to move that decimals class, though. It's not going to be able to stay because lesson 10 is now going to be this one. Good thing I did that because I forgot. I had this table of contents. So let me go back to here, table of contents. All right. Lesson 10 then is going to be linking. Where'd I go? Yeah, they're not in order. I'm going to have to put them in order. All right, so we'll change the words here. So lesson 10 is going to, what's going on? Why can't I change it? All right, here we go. Lesson 10. How come I can't change this? I have rights, don't I? Rights to choose this sheet. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm logged in. Wait a minute. This is me. Oh, I have to be logged in as Fabiana Dardati. That's my name. Okay, now that's the sheet is on Fabiana Dardati, not on Petit Pois. Well, currently it's on the Petit Pois. I opened that account in 2011. So that's how old that account, almost 15 years, 14 years. So it's really full. I got so many pictures on there. That's what takes up most of the space. But when you get up to a certain limit, so I opened this other account. I'm not going to store pictures on it. I'm just going to store documents and then I'll have plenty of room. So anyway, here we are. So back to this one, decimal. So we're now going to call it linking data between sheets. Linking data between Excel sheets. See, because between sheets sounds, I know it, it shouldn't really matter, but it just sounds a little bit. So I'm going to say between Excel sheets. Why can't I make this bigger? There we go. All right, linking data between Excel sheets. And then we're going to give it I'm going to do that too. Look, we're going to make this a certain color. Can I make it? Okay. Tab color. Notice how we can change the color of the tab. So let's make lesson 10. I don't know. We got to pick a color. We can pick custom colors too, by the way. So let me pick, I don't know what color. What color should lesson 10 be? Oh, I don't know. Let's make it lime green. Lesson 10. Oh, look at that. It's not the whole tab though. In Excel, the entire tab changes color. This just gives you a little line underneath. I don't know if you can see that. Let me look on the screen. See how it turns green here underneath the tab? In Excel, the entire tab turns that color, and it's easier to see. Here, it's not very easy to see, but anyway. Okay, let me go back here. Where am I? Okay, let me close that. It opened a brand new. Where am I now? Oh, I'm so confused right now. Hang on. What are you guys looking at? You're looking at that one. Okay. I got a lot of sheets open. Okay, what happened here? Ah! All right, I'm confused. Hang on. Let me start over. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, I got confused with the present screen. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Window. Let me open a new tab. Now you guys are seeing that one. Okay. Google Sheets. And I want to make sure that I'm logged into this one. And see, one of them is, you know what? I want to get rid of this one because it confuses me, because that's the one from my other. So let me remove that. I don't need it anymore. Good. Out of there. Don't need it. That's all the other stuff that all right. So now I won't mix up the sheets. That'll help. All right. So close that. And what are you guys seeing? Okay. I want you guys to see that. Okay. There we go. So I'm letting you see just the Excel sheet. All right. Where was I? So here we go. Lesson 10. But wait, you guys can't see. Oh, yeah, it's green. It is green. So you saw it turn green. I'm going to do the same here. So we go over to this sheet that I'm creating. Right-click on the mouse. Change color. And I'll pick that lime green color. So this is just so that the two lesson 10s are color coordinated. So I know that they go together. Now I'm on lesson 1. That's all right. All right. So we're going to delete that because we have to create these charts. Okay, delete that. All right. So linking data, we'll start here first. So for example, let's say we want to do, okay, I won't do an entire, well, we could do a form letter. So we may as well just do it. So for example, here we have a customer, let's just say the customer, the business name, corporate, because here's the clincher. Sometimes you'll have a business named, for example, Harvey's weed, Harvey's, I don't know, weed whacker. I don't know, Harvey's landscaping. All right, just make something up. Harvey's landscaping, or something like that. No, we won't call it. That's maybe the business is called 'Cause I want to give it a more landscaping services. Let's say the business is called Landscaping Services USA. All right, for example, that's a corporation. Let's say Inc. or whatever. Doing business as, because sometimes what happens is someone has a corporation, but they have 5 or 6 different side hustles, let's call it. So one of his side hustles is a landscaping service. So he is well, see, let's not do that then. Let's not call it landscaping. Let's call it Harvey's Businesses. Harvey's Business Inc. All right, let's do that. That's better. So let's say you got this Harvey's Business Inc. Ugh, no, I don't want to use a name because it makes it sound too. I mean, it doesn't matter what it's named. Make you understand the spin nuts of how corporations work on another tangent, but you're learning Excel as you're learning other things. All right. So the corporation name is, all right. So that's a corporation name. Doesn't matter. Corporation name. Doing business as, sometimes if they're really huge corporations, they'll have different mailing addresses. So, all right. So doing business as Harvey's Landscaping. Doing business as, okay. Address 1, address 2, city, state. These are the headers. Zip. Let's do that. Zip. And I like my headers to be in bold and, make them look pretty. This is not important, but make that bold by clicking. I'm left clicking when I click on any of these. All right, zip. So wait a minute. Customer and corporation would be the same thing. So the name of the contact. So how about this? Corporation, contact name. We could say, I mean, actually you would, but first name, last name, if you want even, but contact name. I think I'll put that here. It doesn't really matter where you put them, but doing business as is what BA stands for. And then here, contact name. You know what I'm going to do? This is just information if you work in an office, since I do work mainly my goal is to teach secretaries, but the rest of you can learn Excel too. So doing business as is very common. You'll see that if you work with a lot of customers, they'll have a corporation name and then they'll have little mini businesses and they're doing business as, in this case, as, all right, so doing business as. It's just so you remember. Let me put that in italics because this is just for you all to have some more general knowledge. Italic, and I don't want to hold it. Let's do it. And I'm going to make it smaller. Like a little cheat message, so you know. Make it, I don't know, a little smaller. All right. Just a little cheat message. All right. So corporation name. Okay, so let's, I don't want to use real corporation, but we could use one real corporation to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So by Menon. Okay, so for example, Menon. You'll hear it in the jingles even. I just thought of this deodorant commercial. So see, Menon has a lot of different. So see, Menon, they make Skin Bracer, they make Afta. It's a brand owned in most parts of the world by Colgate Palmolive. Okay, here we go. There's a brand. So doing business. So Menon is actually even. So then in France, when Menon began branding is owned by, so the owner, for example, is L'Oreal. Doing business as Menon, for example, is one. Or now it's owned by Colgate Palmolive. All right, let's use that one. Palmolive. Britannica he's your customer if you were so lucky. Palmolive is the name of the company. Inc. Colgate Palm. Oh, what the heck happened here? Colgate Palmolive Inc. doing business as Menon. And Menon may or may not have their own bank account. You know, if they get bigger, they may open up their own little, but they're all underneath the Palmolive Colgate Inc., which is why boycotting gets complicated. Here go my other tangent. Because, I'm going to boycott Menon because they did whatever. You may want to also boycott Colgate Palmolive, but you forget, and you may be supporting other brands, which still doesn't matter because Menon would have to hold its own or they go. But you're not really harming the bottom line. You might be harming Menon, and okay, so they'll close the Menon brand and open a new brand and may or may not improve their whatever you're boycotting situation. But and not saying you shouldn't boycott, you should, but it's not as easy to boycott someone out of business as some, especially these bigger corporations, than you think. But you do have power as consumers, so if enough people do boycott, it does work. But okay, at least temporarily. All right, Colgate Palmolive doing business as Menon. Contact name, I don't know, Jennifer Lewis. I don't know who she is. 123 Chestnut Street. 123 Chestnut Street. All right, I'm gonna maybe get addresses from somewhere else, but 23 Chestnut Street, Suite 18, city, any say USA. Because what if I use a real address? You know, down USA, Maryland. This code is 11111. 11112. I don't know if that actually exists. But okay. So yeah, this is taking too long. Okay, remember, I'm preparing the class. So when I actually edit it, it's going to be short. Okay, so I'm going to fill in the rest of these. So I'm going to fill in a few more names and addresses, and I'll be back. I just did that part for the actual video. Okay, let me see if I can find addresses. Do I have addresses somewhere else? Jennifer's party. Oh, here's one with some addresses. Well, okay, I could put in some fake addresses. Okay, this is this is all stuff I don't even remember what I did, but I'm just putting stuff together. Wait. Is there one with addresses, basic math, graphs, and tables? Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I showed you guys how to do the forms. I taught a lot of stuff. Yeah. All right, let's do it. I'll just make up some addresses. Main document, linking data. Okay, let's make it like nicer to look at. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty, it's just the data, but making the data easier to see is sometimes nice. So here, for example, you guys already know that form class. What class is the form class? Forms, it's lesson 8. Okay, that's good. So lesson 10 is a good one for this one. Let me go to this one because I don't want to forget that I want to do decimals too. So let me see if I can put decimals, data, and percentages. Okay, I'll put decimals. I'll put those together there so I can, the cross multiply we got there. All right, I'll delete this one. I delete there. So when I do the decimals one, it's going to be lesson 11 altogether. All right, good. So now let me go back to lesson 10. I'm going to move it where I want to move it. Lesson 10, these two. All right, I'm going to move these. So I'm pressing Control. I clicked once, and I'm holding Control down still, and I clicked on that one too. So they're both selected. So now I let go of Control button. And now I click once. See how you have the little hand? And I'm just going to drag the lessons is one way to move your sheets. It might, yeah, because if you've got a, this is taking too long. So dragging. That's one way, but you know what? It's taking too long. Oops, where did my, now I lost them. Lesson 10. So I just dropped them here. You know, they fell between lesson 7 and lesson, there's lesson B. Here's the scroll left. Yeah, it's these two. I can't get them. All right, another way to move them is, okay, unselect. I'm going to right click. Okay, now they're unselected. They're separate from each other again. Another way to move them is pressing Control, and I click on that one, and I click on that one. So they're both selected. Let go of Control, right click on one of the tabs, anyone that's selected. Yeah, and then I can move it right. I thought there was a way to move it. Okay, move right. Oh, okay, no, wait, there was a quicker way, though. All right. I thought there was a way to move it. How could you change? I thought there was, well, in Excel, you could say move to, and then you can select what sheet to move it next to. So Excel is better there's got to be an easier way to do it. I'll have to figure that out in Sheets. In Excel, you can do what I just did, right click, then move, there's a word move, and you click move, and then it says to sheet, before sheet, and it tells you what sheet you want to move it before or after. So there's probably a way to do it here too, but it's not the way. All right, let me just look. I'm just going to drag it now. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put this part in. Fractions 9a, 9, okay, 9b. I did a lot on fractions there. Okay, there's 10. There's lesson 10. I put it right there where it needs to go. Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna show you something else. Let me move this and I'll show you something else. When your sheets start to get too big, it gets very tedious. For example, in this lesson. So now we got to start learning how to make things less tedious when you have this many sheets. So here we go. Oops. Let's move him over one more. There we go. So now I have my 2 lesson. Can I make this smaller? Okay. I want. Oh, there comes my father. Daddy, I'm busy. I'm on the. It's lunchtime. All right, I might come back after lunch and learn a few more things, but I moved lesson 10, but now I want to see them both together and I can't. Lesson 10, there they are. They're both together. So lesson 10 and lesson 11. Okay. All right, yeah, my father's now wants me to come eat lunch. I told you it was going to happen, and I am kind of hungry. So, all right, I started it. I'm going to come back after lunch and finish this class that I'm preparing. And thanks for watching. But what I'm going to end up doing, and if you guys want to, you have the link. I'll put it in here again, because remember, it's not the link that's currently under the videos. I'm going to have to update those links to this link on my new account. So if you guys want to, on your own sheets, start filling in random addresses, and you can actually do the class with me when I come back after lunch. But I'm very hungry. So talk to you in about an hour. Bye.